Hello boys and girls in Esther, welcome back to another video with me, Mr. Ricardo. And in this video, we're going to go deep sea diving and learn a little bit more about the oceans in our planet. So to start off, I wanted to locate the Atlantic Ocean in the globe so you guys know exactly where it is. To the left of us, which is our ocean, is the Pacific Ocean. We have the Arctic Ocean, which is at the very top. At the bottom, we have the Antarctic Ocean. And right by India, we have the Indian Ocean. And lastly, the ocean that we're going to be focusing on is right here, the Atlantic Ocean. As you can see, the Atlantic Ocean goes from right here all the way where it meets the Antarctic Ocean. And it is the only ocean separating us from Europe and Africa. So, why is the Atlantic Ocean the second largest ocean in the world interesting? Well, let me give you some fun facts and maybe you might learn a thing or two. As you heard, the Atlantic Ocean covers about 1/5 of the world's surface, making it the second largest ocean. It has cold waters in the north and actually even meets with the Pacific down in the south. That's why these two bodies of water have different colors, because of the different properties of each ocean. And up north is where the Titanic is laying to rest at the bottom of the Atlantic. The Atlantic can be both beautiful and dangerous, and there have been many attempts to cross it in many different ways. Some of the attempts to cross the Atlantic have ended in failure, like the story of the Titanic, which unfortunately sank after hitting an iceberg in a cold night at the Atlantic. And other attempts to cross the Atlantic have created records, like the story of Amelia Earhart, the very first woman to fly across the Atlantic. Another very interesting fact is that the Atlantic was the first ocean to be crossed both by boat and by plane. We can't really know for sure what lies underneath this giant body of water that is the Atlantic Ocean. Most of it is still unexplored to us, and we're still trying to find out new things about this ocean. But here are some things that we do know that are underneath the Atlantic Ocean. Some of the sea animals that live in the Atlantic Ocean include the killer whales, regular whales, as well as walruses, and other animals that are much more dangerous, such as a great white shark. All of these sea creatures call the Atlantic their home. My personal favorites are these penguins that live in the Atlantic. We know that there's a lot of interesting sea creatures that live around the Atlantic, but we also know that there's some very interesting stuff going on in the floor of the Atlantic. As you guys can see in this map, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge is basically a mountain range that reaches the top of the Atlantic to the bottom of the Atlantic. That's more than 10,000 miles. And it also has one of the deepest trenches in the world, right by Puerto Rico. So as you guys can see, the Atlantic holds a wide range of sea animals and sea creatures, and it's also an ocean that has very interesting things going on in the surface of the ocean. However, the last important fact that you guys should know about the Atlantic Ocean is that it was our first connection with Europe. Back in the day, there were no planes, just sailboats, so a lot of the early explorers actually used the Atlantic Ocean to try to see what was on the other side. And that pretty much wraps up our video, and I hope that you guys learned something about the Atlantic Ocean that you may have not known before. I hope that everybody is staying safe, and I hope to see you guys very soon.